I see, man. I see. We got my man called in all the way from Australia. We got Raleigh, North Carolina in the house. Where are we calling in from today, family? Where all are we calling in from today? Man, 5:27 in the morning in Australia. I appreciate you for tapping in, man. A lot of people ain't that dedicated. A lot of people would have just slept in, but you definitely paying your dues and you will receive. UK. Wow, we got this is so crazy. We got North Carolina, Sydney, Australia, UK, California, and I'm here in Houston, Texas. Isn't that just amazing how we could, literally be all over the world at once? Jamaica, right? Wow. All over the world connected by this Zoom link, right? And here to get to the next level, here to actually, grow our skill set and become financially free, right? And that's what it is that we're here to do. I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in from all over different countries, all over the world. Never take it for granted one bit. So, with that being said, we're gonna dive straight into it. If you know how I like to do my weekly outlooks, I typically just go from pair to pair, right? Even though I don't necessarily trade all of these pairs every single week, I like to go over a lot of different pairs just to give you guys an overall idea on what it is that I see happening for the week. Maybe you see a pair that you trade and, you could be able to watch over it and be able to keep it on your watch list as well. So, with that being said, taking a look at the DXY first and foremost, personally, I feel like I would not be surprised if we got some bearishness this week from the DXY. We definitely had this long bullish move just from this area of demand on the daily chart, and even more so recently on the lower time frames, where we actually caught this drop. This was where that AUD USD buy that we saw recently that was caused by this drop. So I was able to capitalize on that, right, from this particular move here. Let me go ahead and do this. And then the market actually kept going up. And as I analyzed the price action within these candles over here to the left, I anticipated that we probably clear these highs completely, which we did. And now the market is starting to return bearish yet again. So for me personally, I do see a lot of the buying took place within this candle, right around this point here. So with the buying taking place here, the market effectively came back to this area in order to mitigate that buy order, which is where the term mitigation actually comes from. Not only did we mitigate that buy order, we also have this fair value gap here overlaying the buying momentum right here. So understand what's really going on here. We have a buy to sell candle, right? Where the market buys up and then decides to sell here. Now that this low is lower than the previous low, that means that this buy right here is in drawdown. Okay. So the reason why the market comes back and retests certain levels is because the market wants to mitigate a position. And mitigate just means lessen the risk or lessen the damage, right? So if this order is in drawdown, they bring the market back up either to break even or it'll even go back a little bit in the profit. So when they close this order, they can now add on to the sales and allow the market to continue more bearish. And considering that we do have this area imbalance here, it's just multiple things that make sense where we have that buy to sell with a imbalance overlaying it. That's a very good sign that the market is probably going to continue bearish this week. So now with that information, we did kind of already come into this level. I would not be surprised whatsoever if we wanted to come and target this low here. I don't see anything between where the market is now and this low, that should cause the market to slow up any bit, right? So with that being said, this is going to be like my primary target, like the first area that I'm really looking for. In best case scenario, if this does end up being a strong high as I projected could be, because we have a high, then the market makes a low, the market comes back and reclaims that high like this. Okay. So that means that all of the liquidity that was previously over here got captured with this move. And now that should be a reason for the market to continue down bearish, right? So that's just me giving you a drawn out example of what it is that I see potentially happening right here and right here. So as you can see, that second arch of the M pattern, right? And if you look closely, this kind of looks like an M. That's the first arch. And this is the second arch of the M. And considering that the second arch is higher than the first arch, I got to assume that whatever liquidity that was above the first one got captured when we made this high right here. So since there's no more buy side liquidity that's needed at the moment, now we should go and target sell side liquidity. That'll be my first target. This will be realistically the second. And I feel like by the time we get down here, we'll probably be a little closer towards the end of the week. But, we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. Could the market make new lows altogether? Possibly. But primarily, I'm focused on the first two, right? So bearishness on DXY for me. So I had this markup drawn quite a while ago, and it took a lot longer than I anticipated for it to actually hit. Then news last week actually caused the market to make the move that I was anticipating. Obviously, when it comes to news events, I do trade them a little bit differently. So this was not like my stop loss getting hit or anything. I mean, clearly I marked this chart up, you know, on the 28th of March, and it didn't do anything until April 5th. So that's a lot of time for me to adjust the way that I'm gonna enter the market, right? So for me personally, this would have been one of those positions where you allow the news spike to happen. Then as you're starting to see reactions and rejections, you would then take an entry and see if you could set your stop loss predicated off of where the previous high was, right? On the lower time frame. So just with that being said, um, give me one sec, family, one sec. So with that being said, seeing how the market did come and clear these this what do you even call this? A triple top. I forgot the name of it. But the market created a triple top here, which means that there was definitely an abundance of liquidity right here. So when the market did come and take that out, I do feel like this is prime real estate for the market to come and make new lows, right? We came and took out massive buy side liquidity in the form of a triple top. And as we took that out, you got to assume that there's a ton of profit taking place within that area. So with the market dropping here, I'm looking for a lower high to form somewhere to where we can continue to get more bearishness, right? So another thing, when I see super big imbalances like this, I typically just lean towards them getting filled out completely, because there's a difference between a small imbalance and like this large liquidity void that causes the market to just continue to drop. So for me, I do believe USD CAD is going to continue to drop. I personally wouldn't enter right here. If we could retrace a bit, I feel like that'll be a good opportunity though, for sure. Right. So let's keep it going. So now we are looking at GBP USD. I don't know if you guys remember this. This is actually one of my live calls, so I mistake this for a weekly outlook call. So everybody from the weekly outlook, you probably don't recognize this, but this was a setup that I did discuss. I want to say it was Tuesday night or something like that, and I do have it recorded actually. So I'll make like a little you know quick little video that I can upload on Instagram or something. But just understanding, the patterns that we look for, the hezzy crossovers, strong high, strong lows. See, we got a low here that took liquidity, and the market comes up here, comes back to that initial strong low, and then takes off. All right. Give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna take my daughter to the other room. Hold on, real quick. So just understand what it is that we look for. Obviously, here, we got the low, then we come and take the low, which makes this overall strong low. See the sell, the buy candle, nice bullish engulfing, or the market created weak highs and also gave me a weak low right above my strong low. So my point of buying is always going to be between a strong low, which is this here, and a weak low, which is here. So this would be my perfect buy box where the market came and tapped into it perfectly before taking off on a rocket, right? Which could have been like a nice 1 to 17. But just stuff like that. It's important to understand, guys, just so you could, really understand the different nuances of the market, right? But what is the market gonna do now is the question. So just looking at it from this perspective, I like to play between different time frames just so I can, get a clear picture. So I might take a peek at the 1 hour. Okay, I see, we do got imbalance back here, and the market comes and rejects here. So this could be that low that produces a new high for sure. Go down to the 30 minutes, see how it looks here. Obviously, a lot of selling that took place. Then the market comes up here, and we got like this little imbalance here as well. So I'm gonna analyze this on a smaller time frame, see how if it looks like anything worth trading from. Okay, so here is not much, right? Not gonna lie, it's not much. One thing I do notice though, if I refine this zone, I do notice how we do have again a sell before a buy. All right, and this buy is indeed a large bullish candle. So just with that being said, you gotta assume that there's a lot of power, a lot of demand within this candle. Also you see weak lows right here, right here, right here. You see weak lows all the way up pretty much. So again, I want to take trades underneath my weak lows, but also into, a stronger area of demand. So me personally, I would probably be looking at um, you know, 2595, like 1.2595, around that ballpark area, to start looking for potential buys. Obviously, another potential buy area would probably be right here, because you don't pick the right zone every time the first time, right? Don't let nobody fool you into thinking that every trade you take has to be a winner. There are people that have higher win rates. However, a lot of times it's not what it seems, because some people might be doing 1-to-1 risk to reward where, they're risking 30 pips to catch 30 or risking 50 to catch 50. Or I've even seen traders that have negative risk to reward where they're risking, 40 pips and their first take profit is 20 pips. So what I want you guys to understand is that your profitability has nothing to do with the number of times you can see a blue number in your trade history, right? Or, MetaTrader 4 isn't really a thing anymore. So MetaTrader 5. So that's probably like the best analogy. But whatever platform you're using, whether the number is blue, green, any number that shows you profit, It's not about how many times you can profit, but it's about how much you profit when you profit, right? So for me, I might have less winning trades than some of these other people, but my winning trades are worth a lot more than others, right? So that's kind of what allows me to be profitable. So for me, I'm perfectly fine taking a loss. I have small areas that I like to take trades within, and that is always going to qualify you to probably take a unnecessary loss here or there. But if you're actively executing and your edge presents itself again, there shouldn't be a reason why you can't capitalize off of the next opportunity that presents itself. All right. So for me, I'm hoping that we can get a solid retracement on GBP USD that causes us to then continue bullish, which is what I'm expecting with the DXY going bearish, right? So definitely be on the lookout for that. Higher time frame is also in alignment with this analysis. For the people that trade a little more basic patterns, right? You might see an inverted head and shoulders here, right? I never really talk about patterns like this. Because I guess you can call them retail patterns. However, for a reversal to happen, the market does have to make a low, a lower low, and a higher low. So essentially, whether you trade it like this on purpose or not, you're still gonna somehow find your way executing on head and shoulder patterns, or this would be an inverted head and shoulders, right? So just with that, you see we got a lot of upside potential as well. Where we got equal highs resting over here. This would be the first area that I personally plan on taking this trade up to. So we're talking about like a 12, 13 pip stop potentially in order to gain 200 pips. All right. So that's what I would be looking for if I were you guys. Seek longs on GBP USD this week. And I feel like you'll be very satisfied with the outcome. All right. We're going to keep it pushing, guys. Euro CAD. Obviously, we had this monster sale here. Had a couple sell opportunities, but this was the best one. The market has completely retraced and completely taken out that move. So personally, I do feel like the market is well on its way to making new highs. And you kind of see the same thing right here, where you got that inverted left shoulder head, got this right shoulder here. I definitely feel like we got some more bullishness to go, most definitely. However, it's just not in a position where it feels realistic for me to take a trade at the moment. All right. So although I do think the market is bullish at this time, I'm not gonna personally take any positions on EuroCAD. All right. So as we move on to GBP CAD, we talked about this last week. Caught a nice 1 to 10 right here. I was beating myself up because I could have easily caught a 1 to 20, even potentially 1 to 30. So that was just me cutting my profit short. That's my fault. But moving forward now, I do believe that the market is going to continue bullish, right? Even though the market is dropping momentarily right now, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the market find some sort of support in one of these demand zones, right? Like this. So you see here. Now, obviously, this is going to really depend on how the market opens. If the market opens up in this area or, below this area, obviously that's going to invalidate the trade. So the open is going to play a big role in whatever happens here. Overall, I do just see the market going higher, right? This is an area I could see it going higher from. This is also an area I wouldn't be surprised to see it going higher from. Just a steeper retracement overall into a low that clears out something to the left. So we see this low clears out something. This one also does. This one, I don't, you know, eh, realistically, this one is kind of, now that I'm looking at it, I'll probably pass on that one. I feel like I'd go for this one more so than anything. So if we can get a decent retracement, I don't want to take unnecessary loss here. So I'm gonna go for the steeper area of demand. So if we can get down here, I'm talking 1.706. I would start looking for longs on GBP CAD. Same way I'm looking for longs on GU, right? So I'm looking at longs overall on GBP pairs this week. Okay. So um that setup is pretty much over with. Missed that buy. I was looking for the market to go a tad bit lower, which we didn't get, but that's all good. Nas overall, to be honest, guys, we did clear out these lows here. We pushed into this area of demand. Right. So I'm of the mindset now that we have a good possibility of going bullish. And overall, whenever you get sell-offs on Nas, they're not really long lived. A lot of times they'll be short term. And short term could be a few weeks. Don't get me wrong. Like it could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Overall, the market is always gonna return bullish, right? Like even in traumatic times. I remember back in like when COVID first happened, March 2020, there's a big sell-off on Nas. And I mean it rebounded quickly, right? So regardless of how the market looks on the lower time frames, and you could definitely capitalize on both sides because most of us trade lower time frames here anyway. But at the same time, um, you should always have a larger propensity to look bullish when it comes to Nas or any indice, for example, right? Whether it's US 30, Nas, anything, right? It's always gonna um be a lot more likely to go bullish over time, right? So for me personally, I'm leaning more on the bullish side of things. Again, when I have these really big imbalances like this, I just look for those areas to get taken out completely. There's a difference between an imbalance like that and maybe you have a little bit of imbalance in a candle like this. But when it's just overextended, super big for no reason, those are the ones that usually don't last, right? Gold has been on a tear um of like biblical proportions. It's crazy. Um what's even more crazy is I remember this buy down here and I I took this last year. I still remember that position. But and I know guys that can hold that long, but I'm not one of them. But it's just crazy to see how, caught the bottom of that particular cycle. And one of these days I'm gonna get good at just taking position trades and coming back and checking them in 6 months. But just seeing what gold is doing overall on the daily is pretty impressive. I mean, it's been flying up like a crypto to be honest, or like it is pretty impressive, like I said. But um it's to the point now where it's kind of too far gone for me. Unfortunately, you don't want to sell against momentum, so I'm not gonna sell. However, I do need this market to retrace for me to participate in it. It would be unwise for me to tell you to buy, right away. And here's the thing, and this is another thing about trading that, we all got to get used to, right? Especially if you're new. the market can go up 500 pips. That doesn't mean that you should buy it, right? Because there's certain rules and guidelines that you want to live by. Win or lose, there's certain rules that you want to follow. And buy low, sell high is one of them. That's the fundamental basic foundation of trading. Buy low, sell high. So as bullish as this market is, and as much as you want to participate in the buys, you gotta get a market time to retrace, even if it's just a little bit like this, right? Like this clearly wasn't much. But you see it cleared out something to the left. Market made a new high, came back, reacted, then it took off. So, if we were able to take this trade, could have had a pretty minimal stop loss with a nice target. Now you floating almost 1 to 10. So you can get nice moves in an extremely bullish market, but we still gotta have some sort of retracement because you asking for trouble if you want to buy at those all-time fresh highs, right? Gold is making all-time new highs. So it's only a matter of time before we have to get some sort of retracement. All right. So that's that. AUD USD. Remember, I am bearish on the DXY. So I am looking for this market to also find some level of support or find an area of demand and to continue to the upside. Personally, I do feel like I do see the market. It's not giving me the clearest price action, but maybe we could qualify this as like a breaker block. Maybe if the market comes back here, then we can continue up, right? I have to analyze it a little further as we go, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. Especially since it's like it doesn't look like it has a reason to go much lower. Like there's no imbalances or anything that necessarily need to be filled out within these candles that are lower. So sometimes when all of those candles within the lows have already been rebalanced, you see like there's not like a clear cut place to take a trade from down here. But when we get this big influx of volume, again, we got to really understand what's happening. We sell. But we sell down, then we buy. But then, this is where, a lot of the buying took place to create that imbalance. So now that we got that imbalance here, I want the market to retrace down. If we can get down to like 653, and now I'm giving you a big round number that's easy to remember. You could write that down 0.653. Maybe the market comes a couple pips higher, a couple pips lower. Execute however you feel. All I'm saying is the general area you want to pay attention to is 0.653 and for us to potentially go long. All right. I don't see much there. We almost done, family. Wanted to be quick today. You already talked about Euro CAD. Nothing there as of yet. JPY pairs have been incredibly bullish. I'd probably look for that to continue overall, but if we can get up here, so here I believe this is going to be a trap. I know a lot of people are going to mark this up and want to sell from here. I do believe that that's a trap. I believe that the market wants to come through that area and just taking one glance to the larger time frame, we can see that this is a trap within a larger picture right here. But we do have a buy to sell candle. We also got Hezi right here. So understanding that Hezi creates internal range liquidity. That's where I'm gonna personally be looking to take this trade from, right? So for Euro JPY, I'll be looking at 165.05, right? 165.05. Keep it rolling. Euro AUD. Somebody on my team actually caught this or called this out the other day. Looking for some buys in here. Not a bad idea. If you're gonna buy from anywhere, it'd probably be from there. So let's get a market some time to drop. Win or lose, I think it's a great opportunity. You do got some internal range liquidity in the form of some weak lows right here. So we do have a Hezi. Okay. So just with that, seeing that we do have a Hezi crossover, we got weak lows, internal range liquidity. We do got sell to buy candles. If there was anywhere you would buy in this entire chart, it'd probably be here. So again, there is such thing as and you just got to prepare for this, right? I'm not saying that this is going to lose. I hope it wins. But even if it does lose, there's certain trades that you take where you could be satisfied with the outcome regardless because it was worth it at the end of the day, right? There's such thing as good losses and bad wins. So, this is the type of trade that I could take with pride and hold my head high, win or lose. So I would personally look for Euro AUD to drop a little more. And then let's see if we can get a bullish move from that, all right, within this area of demand. I got clapped on this. And it's because the news got me. The market started dropping good. And it just didn't keep going. So I called this zone. The entry was nice. It was going well. And then that happened. So it is what it is. Now the market seems like it wants to drop now. That's always something that you run the possibility of having happen. Again, that's why we do talk about option A and option B. If you're in my group, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But giving yourself time, giving yourself options is real pivotal in being able to become profitable in these types of market conditions. All right. We already talked about GCAD. We talked about GOD. No. More focused on Euro AUD, to be honest. Yeah, Euro AUD is a much better looking opportunity, in my opinion. I know we looked at G Chef already. What else we got? Family? Take a quick peek at these NZD pairs too. This is real similar to AU. Actually looks exactly the same. It's because NZD USD and AUD NZD are very similar. Like Australia and New Zealand are very close geographically. They're pretty much the same place, just one is a lot bigger. But their currency moves very similar. So the same way I felt that AUD USD is gonna push down and continue up, I have that same ideology about NZD USD at the end of the day. I do feel like we'll drop a bit and then take off again, bullish. NZD CAD, I don't see anything there. NZD CHF. I don't even remember marking this up, but I guess I did. Had that high. We did clear that high. So now I just expect more bearishness. I wouldn't enter now. If there's any chance we could retrace a little bit higher, I'll be glad to take sales on this because similar to the pair we started off with, I forgot which one it was, but I do. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that market drop off quite a bit. Okay, and we started on the DXY, so that's just about everything that I like to go over personally. Um, Again, I want to keep this short, not only just for because it's Sunday and stuff, but for the replay value on YouTube and stuff like that. And I want you guys to be able to get through this video fairly quick. Take your notes, get your setups ready, and stuff like that. So I told you I wouldn't be long, but I'd be strong. We was in and out in about 40 minutes or so. So I think overall we did a good call. Hopefully you guys, picked up some potential setups on this setup on this call, and you see some opportunities that you want to take advantage of. All right. Other than that, if you want more hands-on training, you want more than just a glimpse, you want more than just a weekly outlook. You want to be able to trade hands-on with me on almost a daily basis, right? Several times a week. We trade no less than about 5, 6 times a week. I would highly encourage you to take a look at joining Trade Genius Academy, right? Or my Trade Genius community, right? Trade Genius Academy gives you a full A to Z on how it is that I trade. A lot of the stuff that I kept private on this call for the sake of my course students. There's a lot of things that I go in depth where no stone is left unturned, and it's already helped dozens of people become profitable, which is Trade Genius Academy. And obviously, you have my live trading community, which is currently only $60. I will be upping the price at midnight though, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Looking forward to having you guys in. Definitely tap in tonight so you can get in at the grandfathered price of only $60 per month to do several calls a week. There's no better value out there. Looking forward to having you guys. Appreciate y'all again for tapping in. We've had people from all over the world, man. I just want to record this real quick. So it's so crazy. We got people from all over the world. Where are y'all calling in from one more time, man? Where y'all calling in from? We got Raleigh, North Carolina, Sydney, Australia, UK, California, Jamaica. Absolutely crazy. So just with that, I appreciate y'all. Everybody that tuned in from all over the world. You got Houston, Texas, of course. Houston. Tap in with me, bro. We got to link up, man. If you're from Houston, shoot me a message. I'm not sure who iPhone is, but tap in with me for sure. Canada. What's up? So we got the US, obviously. We got Sydney, Australia. We got UK, California, Jamaica, Canada. It's absolutely beautiful, man. Appreciate y'all. So I'll see you guys on the next call. Much love. Peace. What's up with our trading floor? Please explain. Trading floor. In D Inc. Not sure who that is, but if you want to talk more about it, shoot me a message, man. Let's talk.